Hey guys, did you know that many financial advisors now are actually lying to people, telling them that they can't touch money out of their retirement accounts without any penalties? Well, today I'm going to be going over how you can take money out of your retirement account and never pay a dime in penalties. All right, so before I start giving you all these little loopholes, I do want to tell you and I do want to warn you what could be the potential problems if you take money out prior to age 59 and a half and if you don't qualify with these small little loopholes. So let's say that right now you had $100,000 inside your retirement account and you wanted to go and pull that money out because you wanted to go buy a house, you wanted to go buy yourself a car, a boat, whatever it is. So if you go take that money out of that account prior to age 59 and a half, you will get hit with a 10% penalty.
Oh, hell no!
So that would be right there, $10,000 that you would lose right up front. On top of that, because this is a retirement account that you have never paid taxes on, when you withdraw that money, you will also be taxed on the withdrawal of that money. So on that $100,000, if you're at a 25% bracket, you will lose about 25% of $100,000, which is at about additional $25,000. So you begin to do the math and you add 10 plus 25, you're looking at $35,000 between taxes and penalties for you withdrawing the money too early. So be really careful before you start taking money out and having these crazy fun, crazy ideas. Get ready for how big the penalty is going to be for you taking the money out too early. Now here are the loopholes. So the first loophole is that you could actually start taking money out due to something called unreimbursed medical expenses. So let's just say that you made $100,000 per year as your adjusted gross income. Well, you see, everything above 7.5% of that income, so in other words, $7,500, you're allowed to withdraw money out of your retirement account without getting hit with that 10% penalty. So let's say you had medical expenses of $15,000. Well, everything above $7,500, which is $7,500, you could actually withdraw $7,500 out of your retirement account and you don't get hit with that 10% penalty. Now here's a cool little loophole as well, where you see you could also use your retirement account to help pay for your health insurance premium. So let's say that right now, unfortunately, you've been laid off. You're unemployed right now, but you have health insurance payments of $400 or $500 a month. Well, you see, you could actually pull money out of your retirement account every single month to help you pay for your health insurance premiums, those $400 or $500, and you don't get hit with that 10% penalty. So if that's your situation, you can use your retirement account. Again, it's not something I recommend. If you can afford to not have to touch your retirement account, even better. Now, the other little loophole is if you are involved in a permanent disability. So if that's your case where you are permanently disabled, you can actually touch your retirement account prior to age 59 and a half, and you don't get hit again with that same 10% penalty. Now, the other really neat thing is that let's say that for whatever reason, you have your child that's about to go to college and you're 51 years old and your child is 18 years old about to go to school, and it's going to cost you $20,000 or $30,000 to send your kid to school. Well, the neat thing is that even though you're not 59 and a half yet, you could actually use your retirement account to help pay for your kid's college education. In other words, higher education expenses, and it will not be subject to that 10% penalty because you're under the age of 59 and a half. But look at this, you could also even use it not only for your kids' education, but if you need to go through school again for whatever reason, you could also use it for that and you don't get hit with that 10% penalty. Now, I want to do a quick little disclaimer. Now, remember, make sure you're consulting this information with your tax advisor. Do not grab this information and just assume that it applies to your situation. So just make sure you're speaking with your tax advisor, your CPA, to make sure you're making the right decisions when it comes to your taxes. Now, the other one is, let's say that you've inherited an IRA. So let's say you might have inherited a retirement account from your spouse that passed away, maybe a family member that left you your retirement account, and they left you a $50,000 or $100,000 retirement account, and you're 47 years old. Well, if that's the case, just because you're 47, you're technically under the age of 59 and a half. But if it was an inherited retirement account, you again don't get penalized for that 10% because it was an inherited retirement account and you were under the age of 59 and a half as well.
What?
Now look at this one. A lot of people don't know this one, but you could actually take money out of your retirement account, again, under age 59 and a half. You don't get hit with the 10% penalty if you are buying, building, or rebuilding a home. Now, I want to warn you, it's only $10,000. So that means that if you have $800,000 in your retirement account and you want to take out $200,000 to go buy, rebuild, or build a home, you can't do that. It's limited to no more than $10,000. But look, you can also help your children, you can help your grandchildren, no matter for who you're buying that property for. Now, the only thing you want to make sure, the only way you qualify is you must be a first-time home buyer. That means you must have not owned a property in the last 2 years. So just make sure that you understand this. This doesn't mean that you can constantly go buy properties, taking out $10,000 to buy any property. It must be if you're a first-time home buyer.
Only in America.
Now, the other way is we see a lot of people, at least in our firm, where we have people that are probably 50 years old and they want to retire and they've accumulated $1 million, $2 million, $3 million, and they're 52 years old and they don't have access to the retirement account until they're 59 and a half. Well, there is a small little loophole where what you can do is you can do what's called equal periodic payments. So that means that you can be 52, the company would end up grabbing an expected life expectancy, and that would allow you to withdraw a specific amount every single year out of your retirement account, even if you're 52 years old, and you will not be subject to that 10% penalty. But the problem is that you will only be limited to a specific amount that you could withdraw, and it would be classified as what's called lifetime income. It gets a little bit more technical, but just make sure you're speaking to your advisor so they can guide you if that's something that you should be taking advantage of. I guess this is not really a great loophole, but let's say that you owed $50,000 to the IRS and the IRS comes in and levies your money out of your retirement account. Well, if the IRS comes in and takes away $50,000 because you owe them a $50,000 bill, well, you won't have to pay that 10% penalty. Kind of sucks, but that would be a way to avoid having to pay that 10% penalty if you owe the IRS a bunch of money. And the last little loophole, I know this again does not apply to the majority of the public, but if you were called to active duty to serve for over 180 days after September 11th of 2001, you actually can withdraw money out of your retirement account and you don't have to pay that 10% penalty. All right, guys, so I know it was a lot of information. I know I went a little bit over time, but I want to make sure that you guys had all these little loopholes that you can take advantage of. We have an entire video that actually explains the difference between a traditional IRA, which is a retail IRA, and a professionally managed IRA. So if you want to check that video out and understand more about the benefits and the pros and cons of each one, just make sure you check out our YouTube channel and you can check out that video and explains all the details of the benefits of an IRA.